Thanks for making time for this. I know you got a lot of stuff going on.
No, I appreciate you having me, man.
So I've been following your stuff for a while. It seems like you have kind of, I don't know, seems like you kind of have leveled up recently and maybe like, I don't know, changed your style up a bit from when I remember you starting. Can you talk about that a little bit and tell us what you're up to these days?
Yeah, so I'm working on a project. I actually started working on it around the same time quarantine or COVID hit. So for the past 2 years we started. Yeah, the new sound is really like I've used a lot of my hip hop roots and hip hop melodies and blended them with live rock instrumentation. So the new sound is really dope. It's got, live bass, live guitar, live drums. I worked on a bunch of records with Rook, actually with Morgoth too. We got a couple records. Yeah, it's been really cool. And the music is sounding really dope.
What prompted you to change direction like that? The stuff I heard, years ago was, I guess I would say like just pretty much straight rap.
Yeah, yep. Really just getting in the studio with my friend Rook. I've known Rook for 2 years. I don't know if you know who he is. He's GK's drummer and we got in the studio and we just started working and he started playing live instruments and I just really loved my tone over top of it and we just kept riding with it and ultimately turned into an album.
And I hear you have a song or a video rather with Sueko coming out soon, who is also awesome.
Yeah, he's amazing. Great artist. Great producer actually too. He actually produced the song that we did. We shot the video. The song's called Fuck Society. It's a self-explanatory.
What's that one about?
It's really just the video we shot it was really cool. It was like us going to an intervention and then really just fucking off the intervention and it was cool. Rook played the drums in it and it's a really great song and that's coming out I think in like the January 21st.
Gotcha. Well, how has it been as an artist, like kind of adapting to, I guess, having like more of a rock band as opposed to just like a beat?
I mean, not a lot has changed really, like I said, I'm using still much of the same melodies. All the verses are very, very rap driven. And, like I said, most of the change has really just been from the instrumentation, not the vocals. So it's been really cool. It's been like a really cool process of blending genres. Yeah.
Did you like grow up listening to a lot of pop punk or anything?
I grew up listening to like Chili Peppers and Nirvana and not really pop punk, more the grunge scene and then obviously a lot of hip hop.
Yeah.
But like coming from Omaha, Nebraska, I was kind of forced to listen to it on the radio. They played a lot of like the Sum 41 and the Good Charlotte and so it was kind of embedded in me, But
Home
me
of 311, right?
Yeah,
they're 311.
Yeah, they're actually. We went to the same high school together, but they were
nice.
They were probably like 5 or 7 years older than me. I think maybe even more.
Yeah, probably more. They're like older than me, so they're probably a lot older.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they probably graduated in like the late 80s or something.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot older than
Omaha's finest.
Yeah. They're awesome.
After you're Omaha's finest, but they're number 2.
I appreciate it, man. We can all coincide.
Yeah. Well, so you've been working with Rook for a while now. How did you get to know him?
Actually just living in LA. Like I said, I'm from Omaha, but I've been in LA for 5-6 years now. So I moved out here when I was 19 and, I met him, I met him, like 3 years ago. So we really, we just met at like a party and shit and just kept kicking it and most recently just started getting in the studio, like I said, probably 2 years ago.
Did you move to LA before you got signed and then like get signed out there or after you got signed, or how did that work? Because like there's a lot of people that want to move from Omaha to LA and a lot of people that don't pull it off.
Yeah. I was actually blessed with just the opportunity of getting like a very strong core social media following while I was doing the music. So I was able to take that. Yeah, I didn't have a deal before I came to LA. So I was still independent in LA for like 3 years. And then 2 years ago, I decided I always had a dream of just starting my own label. And I partnered up with my business partner. His name's James McMillan. And we started my label called Alignment Records. And then we took that deal and did a joint venture with Atlantic Records. So
got it.
That's kind of how we started that. And then at the time I was like, man, I got all this going on. I need somebody to help me, manage the situation. And that's how I kind of ended up linking with Wiz. And I'd already linked with Wiz in the studio, just being in LA. But that's when Will started to come around, and I was looking for a manager and having manager meetings, and he ended up, that he was just the right fit for me, and we ended up locking in a management deal, and that's kind of how my whole situation came together on the business side.
What advice would you have for someone else that's living in, somewhere like Omaha or whatever, fill in the blank, kind of out of the way city like that? Would you advise that they build up a following before they move, or stay there and be a big fish in a small pond? Or, I mean, I guess it's probably not one size fits all, but what advice would you have for something like that?
Yeah, like you said, I mean, every artist is going to have a different path, for me, like I said, I was blessed with the social media side. Right now, I mean, you see people, doing very well on the TikTok side, Swaco being one of them. He's making a huge impact on that side, and it's helped dramatically with his music. So, I mean, I would say always, no matter what, even getting a deal, like, you still got to push very hard on the social side. That's only going to benefit you. And those followers, those fans are the ones that are really engaged. Those are the ones that really love you, that show up to the concerts. And yeah, I would say, you're always going to need, the core fan base. So, and you always need to tap into what's new, being an artist, because that's part of the game.
There's a lot of people that feel like, they shouldn't have to do that stuff. Like, all they should do is just make music, and I don't want to do social media and all that stuff. Yeah. That's just not the world we live in.
Nah, not no more. Unfortunately, it's not. I wish I could, just do the music, because that's what I love doing. But with this shit, you gotta definitely tap into that shit, and you never know what could happen with it too. It could shoot you to the number one chart. So
right. It sounds like a lot of what has happened for you has been from just being in LA and hanging out with people and just making those organic connections of, like, people that you vibe with. Do you think that you can make, for someone that, like, either can't move or doesn't want to right now, do you think you can make those kind of organic connections like you did, in DMs and social media and stuff? Or do you think you actually need to be physically in the same place?
No, I think it's actually a lot easier now. It's like you said, we can DM somebody and be all the way across the world and make a connection. And I think that's super cool, because it's like, then it gives the opportunity to the artist to be like, yo, I fuck with this dude. I would love to make some music with you. And I think it definitely opens the opportunities a lot larger.
So on that note, I hear that you just went to Art Basel and did some stuff there. And from what I heard, like, this Art Basel was pretty wild because people are kind of like cooped up and stuff like that. What was it like for you?
It was cool. It was really cool. Yeah, we actually had it was called Art Basel. So that was pretty sweet. There was a couple really actually dope openers. Guy named Raised by Wolves and some other really cool artists. A guy named Mckenty, who's from South Florida also. It was really dope though. It was a cool show. That was the first time I actually went to Art Basel. And have you been down there?
No. I mean, I've been to Miami, but I haven't been to Art Basel.
Not for Art Basel. Yeah. Art Basel was cool though. I had a good time. It was Miami's always wild. So yeah, we had a good time.
It sounds like it was pretty chill though. I mean, there's, so much like crime and stuff happening in LA. If there was something like that going on in LA right now, I don't know if I would go. But it sounded like it was chill in Miami?
LA's been pretty scary. You know, we're actually talking about that, and I think a lot of it has to do with like, you know, red state, blue state. You know, like in Miami, a lot more people are hesitant to rob somebody because everybody's got a gun. You know, so they're gonna be very scared. You know, a little bit more hesitant to come up and rob somebody. Out here, they're like, oh, most people can't even conceal a gun, so you know. But yeah, Miami's fun, man. No troubles, and got to kick it by the water, watch the sunrise. It's cool.
I was thinking about that. Like the neighborhood we live in, we live close to like a huge military base, and it's probably 3/4 of the people here are like either in the military or were, and like everybody here has a gun. And I just think, don't imagine anybody's going to try to rob a house in this neighborhood.
Yeah, you're a little more hesitant when you know people got a gun. You know, what area you stay in?
South of Seattle in Olympia.
Oh, okay, cool. Seattle's dope.
Yeah,
I love Washington.
I like it. Yeah. Well, what are those like? Have you done a lot of touring?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have. So like the beginning of my journey when I dropped the SK8 project, which was 2016, I ended up going on a headlining tour, like 500 cap venues, and we did really well. I had one opener. We sold out like five or six of them, and the rest were like 300, 400.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was really cool. We sold the Roxy out here. We did Chicago, Reggie's Live, and it was a really cool, like starting tour for me. My first headlining tour ever. And then after that, I just started opening up for a lot more artists, like Ray Shremmerd. I went and did. I opened up for Lil Wayne at LSU and where's the other one? Alabama. Those were really big college shows, which were dope. And then obviously I've done 2 summer tours with Wiz. He did a tour with French Montana, and he also did a tour with Ray Shremmerd, which was really, really cool too, that I got the pleasure of opening up for him on.
Do you think you're gonna like bring a band out in the future?
Oh yeah, definitely. So moving forward, actually all of my shows have been, I actually went back to Omaha, to my hometown 2 months ago, and did a show at the Waiting Room, sold that out. It was really, really dope. It's always cool going back to my city and seeing familiar faces, seeing my family. And we had a full band, and it was really, really good turnout, really fun.
Yeah. Do you know are you going to have like a consistent band, or just kind of put that together like on a show by show basis? Or
I'm definitely having some tryouts if you know anybody, you know. But I would love to get, you know, when Rook is available, because he's obviously going on tour with MGK. They're coming up on another tour. He's super busy, but I would love to have him come to, you know, some of the bigger shows, like festivals and such.
Yeah. Are you still planning on I don't know what the right way to put it. Like, are you planning on playing with more rock bands, or kind of stick to playing with rap artists, or where do you feel about that?
I think as the music has started to evolve and people are bending genres, that we have a very cool opportunity to just, you know, depending on, you know, the fans, like obviously, you know, there's always going to be certain fan bases that hate certain shit and, you know, don't like certain shit. But I think it's in a cool position and transition that you can do both, you know?
Yep.
So I'm hoping to get on some dope hip hop festivals and some dope rock festivals also.
Yeah. It's cool now that I feel like artists have permission to be like multi-genre, you know, that you could do, like MGK could put out a rap album next and like it would be fine. Nobody's going to be like, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah. And that goes back to, you know, having a real core fan base, you know. If you can really lock in with people that can relate to your music, they're gonna stick with you no matter what.
What would you say, like, for any artists who are listening? 'Cause a lot of people listen to this are musicians. What would you say in the beginning is the key to building that organic fan base? Like, what did you do back in the Omaha days that was successful for you?
So for me, actually, back in Omaha, I actually went to, I don't know if I mentioned, but I I played basketball growing up all through high school, and then I went to college for a year and played basketball at D2 college. That was
Oh,
like
okay.
3 hours. Yeah, it was like 3 hours away from Omaha. So, but it was a performing in art school too. So I was able to still like work on music, and colleges like always have artists that come and they book them, and I was always the guy that they would have open up. So I was gaining like a cool following there, and then a cool following in Omaha too. So I would say, if you're from like a smaller city like that, like Nebraska too, definitely remain very loyal to the state, also, and grab those following. But do as much as you can on the TikTok, on the YouTube, on any social media, just reaching out, just even just commenting back to a fan, like those types of things will really lock in like real true fans. They just want to be heard, just like sometimes we do, and sometimes we need somebody to talk to. So sometimes just hitting a DM back can really go a really long way.
Totally. I mean, there's a point like MGK can't read all those DMs and stuff, obviously, but like, I think it's weird when smaller artists don't engage like that. It's like, what are you here for? It's like, it's called social media for a reason.
Well, and that goes back to really like, what is your purpose in doing this? I've always had a purpose of, just trying to relate to people. Like if I can put out a record and, somebody across the world can be like, wow, like I feel the same way. That's something that's really special, and if I can help somebody get through something, through my words, through my music, that's important. And if artists lose sight of that, they start to fall off.
And it's easy to think that like, oh, my new video only got 800 views. 800 people, that's a lot of people.
So exactly. So I love that you said that, because for me, I would always be like, yo, and because they'd always be like, there's always those people, oh man, if I don't get the views or this and that, I'm like, gee, like you said, if I drop one song, right, and it's two people's favorite song, I just gained two people, you know what I'm saying? Two fans that love my music. Whether it's
if two people came up to you on the street and said they love your music, you'd be thrilled.
Exactly. So I take it like, hey, if I drop a song and 5 people like it, cool. That's 5 new fans, and I think artists want that. They see that quick, quick clout from certain artists, and I'm like, oh shit, well, why can't I do that? Or it's all different for different people, and you got to really put in the extra steps to get there. And I've always stuck to just the craft and the music, just staying in the gym and staying focused and just trying to better my music every day. That's important to me.
This might be random, but do you feel like you learned anything from sports in that way? Because like, you got to put in the reps in sports. Like nobody thinks you're going to be good at basketball overnight.
Oh yeah. 1,000. It definitely taught me discipline. It taught me, to still remain humble. It taught me, having a coach and that sports definitely helped me with what I'm doing, and, I think they correlate, that's why they always say rappers and ball players are very synonymous. They want to be like us. We want to be like them. It's kind of the same thing.
Right. Yeah. And like performing under pressure, there's just like so much crossover.
Going out in front of fans. Yep.
Yeah.
But basketball definitely helped me a lot, man. Just as a human though, too. I think growing up playing sports, it's definitely helped me in the long run.
I didn't play any team sports when I was a kid, but I really wish that I did, because I played later, but I wish I did, because they just teach you so much about getting along with people and like not being a sore loser. And like, if you're playing a team sport, you can't make it all about you. Like just so many of these things that translate into everything.
Yeah. And I think that's something that, with social media, with our iPhones and stuff, parents, maybe not even parents, but just kids, they stray away from that because it's not something that interests them because they got a phone. that gives them dopamine levels, you know what I'm saying? And by getting likes, it raises their dopamine and they like that. So they kind of just, fall over there to that side instead of, falling into something that like a sport, but
right.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I love. And I still love to this day. I love playing basketball.
Well, it sounds like kind of a common theme to a lot of what you do is about kind of being grateful and staying grounded and stuff.
1000%. I'm super grateful, super blessed, man, to be just in a position to do what I love. It's not something I take for granted.
There's a lot of people who are in small towns or out of the way cities or whatever that feels like they're so in a hurry to like make it in LA or make it in New York or whatever. And they just like completely look past the city that they're in. And it's like, well, if you can't get people in Omaha to care about you, you're definitely not going to get people in LA to care about you.
Because they don't even care about you, period.
Exactly.
Yeah, nah. Like you said, it goes back to that point where it's just like, what are you doing this for? Like, are you doing this for the money and for people? Are you doing it for people's opinions? Because I've never done it for people's opinions. Like I've always done it just to get better at music, and like I said, to be able to connect with people all across the world, and to try to help them through the music. So it just goes back to that, what people's real what's the word I'm looking for?
Like
what
motivation.
What's their real motivation for this?
You mentioned helping people a couple of times. Like what way would you want to help them?
I mean, a lot of my music, I've gone through a lot of ups and downs. I've been through some very sad moments in my career. I've been up. I've had a lot of money. I've had damn near no money. So, just being able to say like, yo, like, I'm the same as you. You know what I mean? Like, we go through the same problems. We're both human. We're not like, just to like, I think a lot of stars will get to a certain point and they kind of like they're only that star. I was just talking to Josh Madden, who's Joel's. Are you familiar with Josh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we were talking about that and just how like losing sight of like my real name's Nathan, so it's like, how do you still keep skate and keep Nathan still there too, so it's the balance.
Yeah,
some people just lose it and then all they are is skating and they don't remember that they're on the same level. Like, we're all the same, we're all human, we're all gonna die one day. You don't get a cheat death. Like, just because you're a star doesn't mean you're not gonna die.
And at the end of the day, all that clout and stuff, when you're on your deathbed,
nobody cares. What I'm saying?
It's not going to mean shit to you
at all, bro.
Yeah. Well, cool. Before I let you go, last question. Just an idea. If things don't work out, I think you should just start telling people you're Jack Harlow.
That's funny, man. Nah, things are gonna work out for me, man. I'm blessed. I stay in the gym. I work hard, and I can't wait to drop my new album. I hope it's something that people can relate to, like I said.
Yeah. Well, what I know you got some features and stuff coming up. What can you tell people about that before I let you go?
Yeah, I got some old pop punk bands on it. I got I can't really say some of the names at the moment, but it's definitely some old pop punk bands on there. And some new school, obviously Swaco's on there, and some hip hop artists too. So it's a cool blend. It's very cool.
Right on. Well, thanks again for making time for this, and we'll catch you around.
All right, brother. Thank you again.
Take care.